All right, so let's continue with the part two of the interview of Tristan. Tate, that's the brother of Andrew Tate. You know, we just find the interview very interesting, sharing their life history and some of the things they used to do together. So let's continue with the video.
Drive to each other's houses every day, it wouldn't make sense.
But there's got to be 100% trust for this to work.
Oh, 100%.
Which is what you guys have.
But me and Andrew have a 100% trust.
Very obvious.
Yeah.
Very obvious.
Trust.
So he gave you some love. What would you say about him? Like from your perspective, you know, what strengths, who is Andrew to you, and maybe what are some strengths and things he does that the rest of the world doesn't see that you know?
Andrew is the hardest working man I've ever met. Even with the lifestyle he lives now, and as fun as it looks, and it is fun, and all the fun shit we do is real. Even if we are in a luxury hotel in the south of France where you're paying $10,000 per room, Andrew will be up at 7 o'clock in that hotel gym. He'll message me at 8:30. I'll wake up next to God knows who. Whiskey spilled all over the desk. But again, that inspires me. And he'll be like, emergency meeting in my room. Emergency meeting, we always say that. So I'll go to his room. So
the whole world is aware of these emergency meetings.
And he'll bring up tiny issues with the business that, you know, I could have slept on quite happily. But again, it's like me doing the exercise when he won't. It pushes me to be a better person. And Andrew will happily work 15, 16 hours a day and then go out and spend 4 or 5 hours having fun and blowing loads of money. It doesn't come from the sky. It's not magic. We're not trust fund kids. We didn't win the lottery. He is the hardest working man I have ever met. And the fact that I can even live with him and try to keep up is a testament to me, because it's difficult, you know?
Because it's constant.
Yeah, and people don't see the work. People don't see the work. I mean, me and Andrew, we're in good shape. I don't post training videos and, you know, fitness progress videos. I just do the work and let the results speak for itself. In terms of money and in terms of business and success, that's Andrew. Everyone's like, oh, well, how does he have all this money? Maybe he's a criminal, you know? So how does he have all this money? I know why he has all this money, because he's sitting right there at that desk at least 10 hours a day, even when we're not on house arrest. He'll be out in the evenings having his fun, and that's what we'll show to the world. This whole, hey, look at me, I'm at my laptop and I'm gonna grind away for 6 hours. Like, no one wants to see that on Instagram. No one wants to see that on social media. It's boring. They want to see you driving the Bugatti with a cigar in your mouth and a beautiful girl next to you. But that doesn't come without sitting at that desk for a good while first.
When's the last time you told Andrew no? Meaning?
But like, do you get what he's trying to say? He's saying that like, despite the fact that they want to show their life on their Instagram or on the social media or whatever, they have to work first, right? But the point that they are trying to do the work, nobody is boring, right? Nobody wants to kind of see that part, right? All they want to see is to see you drive the car, moving with girls. That's just what the people want to see and impress, but not knowing fully well that at the secret or at the other end, you understand, they are really, really working hard. And like, did you get the part he was busy talking about, like the way they work out, you know? Can you kind of do that to your brother or sister or something? Can you say such? Do you know how he was busy describing how hard work? Can you really say that to your brother or sister?
Yeah, if that my brother is really working hard, I can say that.
Of course, I know you have a brother and you have a sister. So which one will you talk about? A situation that you have really stand up for them. Pick one. Any brother or sister.
Yeah, I have one.
Okay, so describe, either you choose your sister or choose your brother, choose one of them and explain the situation that you have been, but you sacrifice for them and work for them.
Oh, yeah, I can't really say it openly.
Okay, so you don't feel there's a simple one that like you can discuss on camera, like
yes,
the one you have stand for, either your brother or your sister? Yeah. All right, okay, anyway, all right, let's continue.
Hey, I have an idea. Here's what I want to do. I'm the hardest working man in the world. Here's what I'm doing. I have an agenda. And you go, no, bad idea. Let's do this instead. Do you ever tell him no? How does this work in this relationship?
I guess the answer to your question would be, tell Andrew no why. You know, we're two men with the exact same vision, aiming for the exact same goal. It's that old saying, with great power comes great responsibility. So telling Andrew no, you have to understand, I'm the only person in the world who can tell him no. Ever since Dad died, it's me, and that's it. So I'm not going to use that power over something trivial, over something that is a recommendation. If I don't think he should do something, I just know when he really, really shouldn't do something. And then I'll say no, but I literally can't think of an example. I can't. No. I can't think of an example.
All right, okay.
In the last couple of years.
Let me share something concerning what he is trying to say, and then one thing, you understand, I did. That was 2017, like 2017. Something happened, you understand, in my family, so we're kind of going through financial challenges and all that, and that was when I was finishing school. That's my degree. By that time, I've already done with my School of Theology already, because I finished that first before my degree that I got in engineering, that's in computer engineering. So what actually happened is, like, my immediate younger sister, she's a nurse. Okay, she's currently a nurse. But what happened is that by that time she was in level 200, and then I wanted to continue my master degree. And then my younger brother at that time, he wanted to enter level 100. So my dad asked me, and he says that, Newton, this is what is happening, and then you want to further your own master's degree and all that. So what are we going to do? Then I told him the amount that I needed to understand in order for me to. Then he was like, what it is right now at the family is not that much. Of course, you can be able to like cater for your master's degree, and I really want you to go for your master's degree. And then I asked him, so what of my immediate younger sister, that's Rosemary? And then he said that if you do that, he's thinking about let me just finish, let it be like, okay, I'm done with my master's before. Then I was like, then how about her? Then he was like, if he give me that money, then it's going to affect her, graduating as a nurse. And then also my brother, who also study biochemistry, industrial chemistry, sorry. So then I was like, okay, if that should be the case, there's no problem. For now, let me just go and work for myself. Let me just go and work and do something for myself and gather some money, while my sister should go and continue with her school and finish her nursing. And then that my immediate brother should also, okay, go to his level 100. Since the money can cater for them, me, I can hold on, then work, you understand, either for the government and all those things. Then after some time, when I get the money, then I can go for the master's degree. And that's how I did it. And by the grace of God, my sister was able to finish, you understand, her nursing, and my brother too was able to kind of finish his, and he's currently on his way to, he's going to Stanford University, you understand, to continue with his doctorate, you understand, like, yeah. So that's the kind of things that happen. Though my own happened in the sense that I was the elder brother, but then as for his own, he was the younger brother, but then actually sacrificing for his elder brother. But one thing is for sure is that I just felt like, imagine, of course, if they say, okay, my sister is a nurse, right? So if something happened, you see, it's just like, it's gonna help me, right? Yeah, same thing is applicable. I can be able to say, oh, my brother is a doctor in Stanford University. Do you see how it is? You see how beautiful it is, right? But imagine I just said, oh, okay, let me be the one to go. Do you see the point? I could have ended up finishing, no doubt about it. How about them? How would their educational level could have been? I don't know. So that's why I just so much like this story that he's sharing about what he was doing for his brother Andrew. But then
That's the dynamic of the relationship between the two of you guys.
Indeed, but he's also the only person who can tell me no. And he doesn't really tell me no for anything. I'm still a 34-year-old man, little brother or not. He's 36. I can make my own decisions. And none of us have the tendency to ever do anything that's really stupid. So...
At the peak, who was funner to party with?
Oh, I've always been the funnest to party with. Really? I'm still the fun one to party with today. No, don't worry about the peak. I haven't reached my peak yet. I'm still working on it. Yeah. I'm the one, Andrew, I'm the kind of guy, I definitely take the party a bit too far. I'll give you an example. We'll go out to the club, there's 5 guys, 15 girls. We're all having fun, we're all partying, etc. We'll come home, Andrew will be like, okay, well, this is the girl I'm with, I'm gonna go to bed. It's 3 a.m. I know I could go to bed with one of these women at any one time. Back in my party days, I've calmed down a bit on the womanizing, I really have. And he'll be in bed at 3. I'll still stay up till 6, drinking with the guys. Because I think, let me squeeze the maximum amount of fun out of this night as possible. So obviously it gets ruined when it gets to 6 o'clock and the girl I like is now asleep or home. And it's like, oh, wait, well, I definitely messed that one up. But I'll certainly try to have as much fun as possible. And it comes back to bite me sometimes. But
when's the last time you partied? You've been in jail. You haven't had one day of freedom this year.
No.
Right? You guys are known as these kickboxing, badass, womanizing party guys, but Andrew's been very subdued. He's converted to Islam. He's not drinking.
No, he doesn't drink anymore.
When's
He's
the last
completely
time
quit.
that you had a fun night out in the town?
A fun night out in the town, I don't know. But I had a fun night right here in my house when my camera guy showed up. I'm going to say his name. His name's Bailey. I'm going to say it. I don't care if he wants to. He can't censor out. Don't give him editorial control. So he got here. I thought, you know what? Bailey's here. That's something new. I've been locked in jail now. I'm on house arrest. Let's open a bottle of champagne. Don't worry, Bailey. Just one. 4 bottles of champagne later. And Bailey's like wishing for death. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll let him go to sleep. But we stayed up all night talking politics, history, very, very interesting things, along with my coach, my physiotherapist, Alex, who hates drinking, by the way, but he'll partake sometimes. And, it was just 3 guys together talking about, I feel like it's the way things should be, and the way things certainly were before mobile phones. Nowadays, everyone's too connected digitally. They speak to each other online too much. Everyone WhatsApps each other, checks on their friends that way. I like sitting around with my friends and just drinking and talking and having a good time and learning new things from them and telling them new things that they don't know. I find that to be incredibly fulfilling.
So
You were saying interests. You said cutters. You collect cutters and all this stuff.
I collect cigar lighters and cigar accessories. I'm a nerd about my cigars. I'm a real nerd about it. I tried my first cigar when I was 28. And now that I smoke a lot of cigars, people will accuse me of saying, oh, well, you try to teach values, but you encourage smoking. I don't encourage smoking. These are bad for you. But if you do them, train really hard in the gym, get as fit and strong as possible, at least try to compensate the damage. But yeah, I'm a nerd about my cigars. I smoked my first one when I was 28. I had a car crash, which stopped me from professionally fighting. I had some surgery just a year and a half ago to fix all that damage finally. But I thought, I can't fight anymore. I've always thought cigars looked cool. I'd never smoked a cigarette or any kind of tobacco product up until that point. And I walked into the cigar lounge. I thought, this big Cuban cigar, let me buy one of these. I had some money even back then when I was 28, and I got this cigar. Got about halfway through and my head was spinning. I don't know how I drove home. I felt horrible. But yeah, now I smoke 2-3 cigars a day sometimes. Some days I'll go without smoking, but the accessories are what make it cool. Even here on the table, these have been here since your podcast with Andrew, but it's the lighters I like, the cutters I like. I'm a real nerd about it. Before going out, I'll pack my cigar cases, etc., ready for the club. Yeah.
What's your preference? What do you go to? What's your go-to cigar?
Cigar? My favorite cigar is actually... So you have to liken them to champagne because most people won't know what we're talking about if we do cigars. So I'm going to make it more interesting. People who don't know champagne will say, yeah, give me some Dom Perignon. Every single time. I don't even like champagne. I don't like any champagne. But there are old Frenchmen who know that there's a Veuve Clicquot bottle that's better than the Dom Perignon if it's the right year, etc. So with cigars, everyone goes Cohiba. When you can buy Cubans when you're outside the United States, Cohiba is the Dom Perignon of cigars. It's got the yellow label. Everyone likes Cohibas. But this is not my favorite brand of cigar. But my favorite is H. Upmann. Now, they have a European name, even though they're Cuban, because a German businessman started that company in 1848. Cohiba was founded in 1966. It has much more history behind the brand, a much better quality cigar in terms of build and flavor, and they're about half the price. But me smoking H. Upmann's is not a budgetary decision. I mean, I'll buy cigars from the 1950s and smoke $6,000, $7,000 cigars just because I enjoy them. But H. Upmann are by far the best brand, hands down.
Can I give a quick shout out real quick?
Sure.
I only smoke cigars with 2 people. Their last name is either Tate or Sapala.
Okay.
So shout out to Matt Sapala, by the way. If you're watching this, you're going to love this. Yeah. The finest of gentlemen, the Tates and the Sapala. That's it. That's a quick shout out. I very rarely smoke cigars, but if I do, it's with the Tate or
actually,
Sapala.
Matt Sapala did a Minect call with Andrew last time, I think, using Minect.
Yeah.
And had a good conversation together. So going back to you, spiritually, Tate comes out, Andrew comes out recently announcing he's a Muslim, right? But in the podcast with us, he said, you're still a Christian. What is that conversation like between the two of you?
Well, you have to understand, if you are a fan of Andrew who watches him on the internet, he's converted to Islam, that's sudden. It wasn't sudden. It was a journey that I saw him go on, which certainly lasted at least 10, 11 months up into the day he reverted, according to Muslims. I'll use the proper terminology. Up until the day he reverted. I became a Christian about 6 years ago. I spent a lot of my life as an atheist, and I'm so ashamed to say that. I don't like the word. I think it's a bad word nowadays. Because I was young and naive and stupid enough to think that people could be perfectly moral and live in a perfect, harmonious society without the need for religion. And about 6 or 7 years ago, I looked around the world, literally, at what people were doing. The massive fetishization, I'll call it, of abortion, the degeneracy in society.
Can I pause this and ask you a question, please? All right, okay. Let's look at this, okay? They're asking that, before their kind of life, right? They smoke together, drink together, party together with women, right? Now, Andrew is out of the prison, right? Now he has become a Muslim. He does not smoke, he does not drink, he does not party. But him, currently, he's a Christian. Even when we are watching him right now, he still smoke, he still drink, right? What do you have to say concerning the Christians' values and Christians and Muslims?
Yeah, that's why I said in that video that I can feel his pain. I can feel it. So,
whose pain exactly?
No, his brother.
Whose pain? Andrew's brother.
Andrew's, like, the reason why he left Christianity. Maybe let me just say it, his brother is.
Explain. I'm listening.
Maybe his brother is one of the people that also made him to leave Christianity. If you are still involving yourself in the things that God, you said you love God and you don't keep his commandment, you don't obey what he said we should not do, so there is no reason for him to be there. So I think the reason why Andrew left was he really have the fear of God. There is something in him that, cause his conscience is not dead. That is why the Bible says, for all have sinned and come short of the glory. So coming short of God's glory is dead. Is not physical death, is spiritual death. So it means that when your conscience is dead, you don't even feel anything. You don't feel anything wrong or right. So I think many Christians are spiritual dead. So I think his conscience is like telling him there's something in Andrew's the spirit, like his conscience is not really dead, that he's feeling it, that this thing that I'm doing is not good. So I have to be connected to and obey the God I really said I love and I serve.
Yeah. So now between Andrew and his brother, which one among them is more Christian? Which one among them do you think in a sense love God than the other? Because Andrew was doing that, he came back, both
of them, we are not judging anyone, both of them love God.
I am not saying that we should judge anyone, I'm asking you based on Christian.
Okay, both of them, who is actually a Christian?
Who is a Catholic Christian? Who actually love God?
Love God, both of them love God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does Christianity, because I asked you based on Christian values, does Christianity say we should drink?
Okay, no, because
that's the question I asked you.
Both of them love God, but Andrew has an understanding the meaning of love.
Okay.
So it's just for someone to understand. He said he has knowledge of what he's doing.
Yeah.
That is why the Bible said for lack of knowledge, God now said, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. Yeah. So if you don't have the knowledge of God, of the purpose of you being on this earth, you will perish.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are perishing in drinking alcohol, womanizing, doing those things that God have commanded us not to do because they lack wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And that is why God said, if you lack those things, ask me, I'll give it to you. So when you have knowledge and know the purpose why you're on this earth, you will not just live anyhow.
All right, okay, so let's continue.
The most Orthodox Christian country in the world. My daughter's maternal grandfather is actually an Orthodox Christian priest. And I picked up the Bible again, and I read it from cover to cover, front to back. And that was 6 years ago when I became a Christian. Now, ever since Andrew's reversion, I have not spoken about my religious beliefs because there are teams on Twitter. So you guys get the exclusive. There are literally warring tribes on Twitter of Christian trolls, let's call them, and Muslim trolls, all fighting for my soul. Tristan, what do you believe in? Tristan, and I haven't mentioned my religion ever since Andrew's aversion to Islam. So there are people who think I'm a Muslim. There are people who know I'm a Christian. But for me, the values that are shared between the two faiths are both contrary to everything what Andrew would call the matrix is trying to shove down young people's throats and trying to program people to believe. I think the days of Christians and Muslims murdering each other in crusades and trying to take the holy city of Jerusalem, etc., are over. I think that there are ideological differences, and there are ignorant Christians who will be like, oh yeah, but Islam's a fake religion. But then there are ignorant Muslims who will say, oh, Christianity's a fake religion. Good, you're supposed to think that. They're different religions, and they do teach different things. They have different messengers, and they have slightly different messages. But as a whole, I'm perfectly happy living in a house when my brother is a Muslim, because 1, I respect his decision. 2, I understand why he reverted. 3, I understand that we have a common enemy we have an enemy in common, and we have the exact same goals. I feel like the religions now should be closer than ever before. It's fine to say, you believe things about God that I don't, and I believe things about God that you don't. But can we at least agree that this is wrong? And I feel like common ground would unite Christians and Muslims hand in hand if people were less standoffish. So I have no problem with my brother being a Muslim. He's quit drinking. I have lost my drinking partner. And the only reason I'm actually talking to you about religion and answering these questions, because I kept it very close to my heart and I haven't spoken to anybody about it, is because I am publicly drinking whiskey.
Well, if you need a new drinking partner, Tristan, I can help you out here.
Absolutely. And you're Jewish?
Yes,
there we
most
go.
of the time.
Muslims refer to Christians and Jews as people of the book. And you have to understand that Muslims hold Christians in very high regard. So I've read, even since getting out of jail, I've read 4 books on Islam since getting out of jail. And I was actually quizzed by a Muslim scholar who lives in the United Arab Emirates. He said, Tristan, are you ever going to revert to Islam? And I said to him, reversion or conversion to any religion, I don't believe it's something that you do. I believe it's something that happens to you. If you look into a subject and you read the Bible and you read about Christianity and you read about the life of Jesus Christ, you don't think, screw it, I'm a Christian. I feel like it's something that would have to happen to me, not something I'd choose to do. And I've even had people say, oh, your life would be better if you reverted to Islam because, there'd be benefits of you living in the Middle East, etc. And I said, no. How disingenuous would that be to my Muslim friends and colleagues, of which I have many, to revert for any beneficial reason other than me genuinely feeling it within my soul?
I don't know. Do you hear what he's saying, like what he's trying to say? He's saying that like he don't feel like you becoming a Christian should be about you just reading about Jesus Christ, read about the books, and then you call yourself a Christian. He feels like when you says that like you're a Christian, it's something that needs to happen to you. You need to kind of have this kind of encounter, and then that will make it a bit more kind of a genuine. Or what do you understand, Pa? What do you think he's trying to say, like concerning that?
Yeah, I understand what he's saying. So that was what I said in this video. What I understand what he's saying is that some people are from a Christian background, so they still call themselves Christian, while the meaning of Christian should be Christ-like. So he's right what he's saying, that unless he has personal encounter with Christ, submit himself to the lordship of Christ, he cannot behave like a Christian. So majority, billions of people in the world are just answering the name as a title, Christian, because they are from a Christian home. Until when you have an encounter or you are called, like when the Bible says that for all are called, but few are chosen. Because the Bible says that we are called out of darkness into the light, because Christ died, so freely you received. So we receive the light freely. But for you to have an encounter and submit to his lordship is something that you accept it and you receive it. That is when you are choosing for that.
Okay, all right, wow, that's nice. So let's continue.
So that's the reason I have it. Not because I haven't chosen
I hope you love it.
but because it hasn't happened to me.
Right, so that means it could happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
You said, so interesting, you just said something earlier, real brief. You tweeted out, you said positive pregnancy test, ?
Yes.
Unsure what to do? This is the sign you were looking for. Keep the baby.
Yes.
Raise the baby. By the time they are 2, you will thank God you read this and shudder that you ever considered an abortion. I understand you have a choice, but make the right one.
Yes, I did tweet that because I understand that there is now a chance with 1.8 million people following me on Twitter and 500, 600, 700,000 people watching each of my tweets that I may have just saved a life. I wasn't trying to make any point about the legality of abortion because everyone's arguing underneath the tweet, oh, it should be legal, it should be illegal. I will actually upset both teams because I'm not pro-life or pro-choice. I believe that abortion should be legal under many circumstances, and there are many reasons why there are people in the world who for many reasons would need an abortion. What I do is I don't try to force my views on anyone else. So my view on abortion is very simple. I'm against abortion for me. I've made lots of money. I'm a smart guy. I'm a great dad. If I get some girl pregnant, even if it's by accident, it was my choice to sleep with her, and I'm going to make sure she brings that baby into the world and take care of it for the rest of its life. So I'm against it for me. I don't try to force my views on other people because otherwise we're going to start this whole debate. It's going to happen in the comment section of this video. Oh, but what if a woman gets raped? I'm against abortion being used as a form of contraception. So I'm on neither team. So both teams can get mad at me, and I don't really care. But yeah, I just thought with so many followers, maybe I'm going to get a letter in the mail in 17 years' time from somebody whose mother's going to tell them the story of the time she read Tristan Tate's tweet, and I thought that would be awesome.
Wow.
So that was my motivation. I wasn't trying to start a political argument because I really don't care enough about these issues to debate people on them because I know how I want to live my life. And if you're a crack addict on the streets of New York and you end up pregnant through sex work, I do believe there is a case where you personally don't need to be bringing a baby into the world. So I'm not.
For me, like, I could have wished that maybe probably he take a position, you understand, to whether he's against the abortion or, you understand, he is for it, okay? Because he's saying that personally, in his own, you understand, personal life, of course, he has the money. So even if it happened by accident, of course, he has the money, he can take care of it. But then even if, you understand, you are pregnant, even if you are prostitute and then you choose, you understand, to abort it, you understand, that is your own point of view. So at this point in time, he's allowing everybody to make a decision. You don't want to make any decision for yourself. If you feel it's right, fine. If you feel it's not right, it's fine. But then, don't you think you're supposed to take a stand? Since just like the way he was talking about those people who are following him, knowing fully whether whatever he say can influence their life, don't you think he could have just take a part concerning this abortion thing?
I think I also getting where he's coming from, that you are grown up enough to decide what you want.
Okay.
That is my own suggestion along what I think. So you are grown up to know what you decide for. And also as a Christian, maybe he's having a little understand that whatever decision you take, you take responsibility for it, you answer for it, both in God's perspective and in human perspective. So any decision you take has a consequence. So that is where you're coming from. So if you decide that for a lady for a particular thing you have to do this, he will pay for it and he'll take responsibility for it. So
wow. I think it's very interesting. It just allows everyone to make a decision. Well, anyway, just everyone should just relate it with his own faith and then decide to whether it is good or bad. So guys, I think you're going to be very interested in the part 3 of this interview with Tristan Tate, and I'm going to see you in the part 3. Stay tuned with us, of course, and enjoy the rest of this interview. So many we are going to say so many things, all right, and then you're going to hear so many ideas both for the Christians and then for the Muslim and all that. So stay tuned and remain blessed, guys.